I have both a graphic design and a data background, which means I'm really picky when it comes to things like visual stuff on reports. What I know is that things need to be consistent and accurate. And consistency is a problem that a lot of people have trouble with. What kind of font did you use last time and what size was it? It's all very difficult. So in any application that offers the opportunity to save collections of styles or collections of formatting, I'm thinking you should use it. Peachtree, fortunately, comes pre-installed with styles, and they can be applied to reports or they can be modified. So if you've ever used a wizard in something like Microsoft Word and chosen a professional fax or a contemporary fax, you're going to see the same type of thing here. We're going to use report styles to select and modify a few so that they work exactly the way that we want them to. Now what I'm going to do first is I'm first going to start by just getting out of this particular box. Now you will see that on our toolbar we do have a Styles button, and we could click on that, but I'm going to close this down and show you another way to get there. It's still from Reports and Forms. It just happens to be almost the very last option in this menu. This is the box that we also saw when we were working with customizing our report, except this time we're customizing the style itself, not the styles as they appear in a particular report. So what I can do first of all is take a look at what's here by default. Currently we're looking at something called Standard Professional, and we can see it's basically Arial in different sizes, bold, black, and Western. If I choose from the drop-down something like Contemporary, you can see that things change. They're not as bolded, they're still based on Arial, but now you have some different colors like red, maroon, and underlining. So now that we know there are some different things that are built in, how do we customize it to work the way that we want? Well, let's say that I like Contemporary, except maroon and red aren't our colors, purple and pink are our colors. Well, this is very easy to modify without having to build it from scratch. I can simply click on something I want, for example, the report print date, and I can click on the letter, and I can change the font, make it bolder italics, the size, or on the bottom left, the color. I'm going to go ahead and make this purple. And then I'll say OK. Let's do a couple more that we'll be able to see a little bit easier. How about the company name? Let's go ahead and give that one a click. And I'm thinking that I do like this one. I do like it in bold, but I want it to be a little bit larger. So let's make it 14 point. I do not want it underlined. And instead of red, I'm going to go back with our branding color, which is purple. And I just have to scroll to find the purple color. Likewise, we can continue on through each of these. Let's go ahead and just do the title one more. Let's make this italics and a little bit bigger. And this time let's choose fuchsia as our second color and say OK. So you get the idea. Really, customizing and working with styles is this simple. It's just a matter of finding one and then either customizing it or saving it under your own name. Now because I've customized it, notice that the name is gone out of the style box. I'm actually going to save this with our company name, the Irlandesa style. You also can see that at the top of this box we have a Style Defaults tab. This lets us determine what the default style is going to be for different types of reports. So let's see how this one might work. Let's go ahead and say that we want to use our Irlandesa style for a particular type of report. And for now, let's go ahead and let's say that we want to use it on an accounts receivable report. Instead of professional, we want to choose it from the list, but guess what? We didn't save it yet. So let's go ahead and do a save. And then expand our list. And now we can see our style and we can select that. It's very important that you read this title at the top though very carefully. It says select a default style for standard reports in each report area. It doesn't say select a default style for custom reports. Keep that in mind when I go ahead and click on Save and Close. If we go back to our reports and we come to Accounts Receivable, we get to see our allergy list right here at the top, and if I double click on it, it opens up, but guess what? None of our formatting is here. That's okay because this is not a standard report. In order to apply the styles, I would need to do that as part of this report. If I click on the Fonts button, I can see that we have our styles here, and I can apply the Irlandesa style, specifically sometimes called hard coding, to this report. I'll say OK, and there we go. Now we can see our different colors that we had before. That one's easy, so let's save it. And click on Save again, and say yes to overwriting it, and then close. But we also said that this should be automatically applied to some of our standard reports. So let's open up a customer list. Here we can see that the Irlandesa style is automatically applied. And that's just the little difference I wanted to show you, is that it's not automatically going to be applied to custom reports that you created, but only to the defaults. But you do have the option to add it to custom reports as well. Let's go ahead and close this out. And I want to show you one last thing about reports that can actually save you a lot of time. In the Select a Report or Form window, on the left-hand side at the very bottom, we have something called Report Groups. Let's give that a click. Right now, there aren't any, but report groups allow us to do just that, to take any combination of existing reports that we have and put them into a group so that we could technically batch report them, say do all of them at one time. Maybe everything that you had to do for closing a quarter or closing a period or maybe for a stockholders meeting, those types of things. It's actually a very simple process. You're simply going to go up and click the Group button and then select the different types of reports that you want to work with. For example, if I did need to make this for a certain manager who always wanted the same types of reports at the end of the month, I could do that. Let's just keep this one simple. Let's choose from financial statements, and let's include a balance sheet, a 12-period income statement, and maybe statement charges. Once I get the reports added that I want, then I can simply click Save. I'm going to give it a name and a description. I'll just call it General Financial Statements used for end-of-period overview. And obviously in your particular business you may have some specific names. It could be that these are the financial statements for bills, end of quarter, or something like that. We'll click Save. And now we can see that the group name is listed on the top, as well as the description on the bottom. And if I don't want to make any more changes, I can click Close. And now when I'm in the Select a Report or Forms dialog and I have report group selected, I can see the entire group and/or I can work with each of the individual components of the group. It really makes it very fast, very simple to select and then just choose Print. As we've been able to see, there are a lot of options we can use to customize reports. And yes, it can take a lot of time, but once we've created reports and styles that are reusable, then we can call on it when we need to. We call that front-end heavy development, meaning it takes a little bit of time to get the things in place, but once they are, we don't usually have to touch them again. People who are used to accounting software can often tell what program created certain output because it looks the same. There's nothing wrong with that. They actually are very good, but we just are able to say, that came from Peachtree, that came from Quicken, that came from another particular piece. What we want to do is we want to give our business a custom look. Using these steps gives us that ability, so we can appear to be polished and professional without having to reinvent the wheel completely from scratch. Now that we can accomplish that, we have the ability to add a little bit of professional intrigue or professional expertise, if you will, to the look of output from Peachtree.